Hello, I am Monica, and I am the founder of Black Girl on Campus, founder and CEO, also known as BGOC here, and where I take the overwhelm out of the college application process for African American girls who will be first generation college students. You see, I was a first generation college student, so I can absolutely relate to what you're feeling at this time. So, with me and everything that I do at BGOC, I help you go from confused and unsure and not knowing what in the world's going on to confident, empowered, and crystal clear on your first gen college student journey. So, today you're here watching Lunch and Learn. And what is Lunch and Learn? L&L, which I like to call it, is a few minutes with me doing a quick debrief teaching on a subject with a takeaway or two that you can implement right away in either your college planning or your success as a first generation college student. I don't go on long because these are meant to be bite-sized for you to take what you need and get back to enjoying the rest of your day. So does that sound good? Great. So let's get into today's topic, which is three mistakes that students make when applying to and once in college. So as the slide says, simple yet avoidable. I've seen the following missteps that I'm going to take, and the misses happen too many times to count. And by doing so, and by missing these things, it can have a major impact on your college application or scholarship submissions, as well as navigating campus once you get there and on campus, and further when you're applying to jobs as you near graduation. Excuse me. A 2016 survey from Bowling Green University found that 39% of students don't always open their emails from their academic advisors. And more than half said they don't always read emails from academic departments. And 72% said they treat emails from student organizations like spam. So it's just like, okay, get away from me. I'm not using that. I'm not opening that. Look, I can relate to the email craze. My email box is like, I have, number one, too many email boxes because I have two businesses, but my email boxes are like, it's just, especially like I actually had one that was for spam. And I said, this is ridiculous. Just close the email down. But then it was like there was shopping things in there that I didn't want to miss. But besides that, it's just like I understand the overwhelm of having so many emails. But how often do you check your inbox? Colleges and scholarship sponsors or your professor on campus, they're not going to hit you in your DMs on TikTok or on Instagram or wherever you are. They're not going to do that. They're not going to send you a message through social media for the most part. So it's important that you check your emails as much as possible. I remember a young lady when I was doing some BGOC work a few years back, and I had mentioned to her about a scholarship that I was the chair of. And I said to her, I'll send you an email with the details, with the link and all of that. Now, I could have just said, this is the name of it. Go Google it. Go find it. No, I said, I'm going to send you an email and just look for it. It was a pretty substantial scholarship. It was $5,000. And she said, okay, that sounds great. Fast forward, deadline for the application. She did not submit. And then she called me, I think like a couple days or maybe a couple weeks after the deadline date. And she was like, that scholarship you were going to send me, like when was the deadline for it, or the scholarship you sent? I said, number one, I sent it. Number two, the deadline has passed. And she was beside herself. She was crestfallen. And I was just looking like, there's nothing, I don't know what you want me to say. Yes, I'm the chair, but like it's passed and sorry, basically. And because she did not check her email, she missed out on that opportunity. And she really would have been a contender probably. And she needed the money for school. So make sure that you have a professional email address when you're applying to college, when you are applying for scholarships, and use it for everything. So if you're using the same email, everything will go there, and check it often. It'll be top of mind to say, oh, I've applied and I need to check my email for that. I've applied for this scholarship or this to this college. And then once you get on campus, you will get a dedicated email address with your schools.edu. So be sure to check that for everything from professors to your advisor to potentially jobs when you start applying. So check your email. Don't be a part of the 39 or the whatever that number was I said above. I think it was like 70 something percent. Don't be that person. Next, deadlines. They exist for a reason. Listen, how do you keep track of deadlines? Are you the electronic person, like with your phone right here, you're with your phone or Google or Outlook? Or maybe you're the person that writes it down to make it plain and use a planner and all that good stuff. Or maybe you have the hybrid version. Listen, electronic, you're saving trees, awesome, I love it. But make sure you're using your calendar app to its highest functionality. Set reminders and alarms, color code, however you can. Sync with your computer. God forbid you accidentally lose your phone. At least if you sync with your computer, it's all going to be there. Maybe you're traditional and old school and you're writing it down. I started writing to-dos down back when I was 12 years old. And I still remember the calendar. It's like the picture is like right here as I'm talking about it. I still remember the calendar that I used. And one time in one of my many moves, I stumbled upon that very calendar and it brought back some great memories. It also showed me how organized I was back then too. Some people benefit from writing things down. As it's said, when you write it down in your own handwriting, it's more memorable because you're writing it. You're thinking about what you're writing and you're writing it down and it'll be more top of mind. So that's something that is said. And then finally, like I mentioned earlier, the hybrid model. And I am a hybrid person. It's a combo of electronic and writing things down, which is something that I actually adopted this year because I've tried to just be electronic or just write it down, and they weren't working for me. So I've created a hybrid model. So business meetings, doctor's appointments are written down, but they're also in my phone with reminders and alerts. So when I plan my workday, I can do it appropriately. Meal planning, birthdays, also business meetings, like I said, doctor's appointments are also in my planner, which I look at every single morning so I can plot out my day. What am I going to get done for today? Bottom line is whichever method you use, commit to using it on a daily basis. Check in at the start of the week on a Sunday. That's when I like to check in and start to like kind of plan for the week, like a kind of a structure, a little bit of a skeleton of what it's going to look like. And then I look again, like I said, daily, and I encourage you to do the same, to look daily so you don't miss an appointment, a deadline for a project with school, a to-do for something personal, or college and scholarship submission deadlines. We don't want that. So deadlines, they exist for a reason. Excuse me. Finally, gosh. Applications for schools, for college, for scholarships, and employers are going to ask you for references. Who are you going to ask? Of course, you want the best people in your network to write something stellar, but you cannot ask them at 11:59 for something that you need at 12 o'clock. Like that's just not going to work. Which teachers, think about this, which teachers and professors and administrators and coaches would you like to ask to write something for you? Who's your supervisor where you do volunteer work? Because I know that you are doing volunteer work. The BGOCs do that volunteer work. Who would you get to write about the great work you've done with their organization? Do you have a current or present boss that can speak to your professional character? Be sure to ask for recommendations well in advance, as it takes people time to write. That's number one. People just can't write at the drop of a dime if you really want them to write robust and something really outstanding for you. So be sure to ask for them well in advance. And remember, you're not the only person that's asking them for a recommendation, especially if they're like a boss or like a favorite teacher or the supervisor at your volunteer facility. A lot of people are asking. So it's best also to ask for it in person or via phone, certainly, And then follow up with an email from your professional email address that we talked about above. And when you're following up in that email, write the particulars of what they should include if there's specific questions about your character. I remember in that scholarship I mentioned earlier, the student had to do 40 hours of community service. That needed to be outlined for sure. You should also let them know where to send it, who to send it to. Can they send it to you? Should they send it to this other email address? So after the phone conversation, you do a follow-up and email, thanking them, of top of mind, thanking them first for doing this for you, and then giving them the details that they need. So that's it. I told you, these are fast. I'm not trying to have you here all day listening to me. I hope that you found today's Lunch and Learn helpful. If you need some help staying on track with application deadlines, head over to the BGOC shop and pick up my scholarship tracker. It is a comprehensive digital document that's customizable and allows you to track the information you need to not miss by missing money and missing a deadline for it. I've added the link in the description box below for that. And then also, if you are 11th, 12th grader in high school, or you're a first-year student, first generation, of course, I invite you to join me in my membership community, College Knowledge University, where you will have access to me and college admissions and other professional experts that will make your journey into and while in college a success. The link for CKU is below as well. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And if you have questions, email me at info@monicabritton.com. Have a great day.